Okay, so we're at the end of May. I guess we're going to give you not a complete, it might be, I don't know how complete it is. We're going to go through this one section of the garden here. We'll try to keep it as complete as possible. But here's the tree. It's been a couple days. We've had some wind and rain. Said I'm still getting some issues. I'm going to have to go to the feed store and see if they can give me some clue as to what to treat this poor tree with, because these leaf cutter ants are just taking out chunks at a time. But we'll get something. We'll get some more ant stuff put on here. Here's one of my least favorite weeds. We got most of them out of this patch of yard or this area. This whole area where we're going in and walking around is used to be full of it. And wait, what's that? Oh, that's an oak tree we pulled up from somewhere and planted in that pot so we can grow it. There's some Crape Myrtles. These will be red. Got two of those. There's one on each side of a walkway. Got one of our persimmon trees that's doing pretty good up here. We've been doing a lot of this layering and putting pots inside of pots or pots under pots and above trees so that when we water the pot, it waters the tree down below. Right here we've got two of our hardy kiwi and two, of course I'm not going to remember, elderberry bushes. So we've got that. Oh, look what this is. I can't show you that because that's not done yet. But on the other side I can show you, but it's still not done yet because we put an arch in, and I got a grow bed on this side but not on the other side yet. So we've got our pink guavas right here and another one down a little bit further. We've got some purplish lantanas. And right next to this was the last square grow box. Doesn't look like anything you guys have seen in a long time. Planted tomatoes in there. We planted some cucumbers down in the middle. And the wind obviously blows from that one direction and comes this way. So it blows it all that way. So the onions have been blown down a little bit. They're still in there. They're still alive. They're still kicking. Cucumbers have been blown over to that side. So now I just got to make sure that that tomato plant that's getting buried over there stays alive. But the tomatoes are doing great. We'll see if we get any that turn colors or not. But we've got tomatoes on them. We've got, let's see, over here there's 6 tomato plants. So I've got 8 different varieties of tomatoes. There's still one of them over on the porch, one of them that hasn't been put in a plant or in a pot yet. So this is my stuff that still's got to go. We've got 2 different colors of lantana. One's not blooming now, one's white. We've got some different herbs and things in here that need to be planted. Got some more strawberries in this one that need to be planted, and a tomato bush. That's a cherry tomato. A couple other things. Here's pardon us, we're still moving things around, getting things set up. So I got buckets everywhere, like pot buckets and whatever. But here's our tomato bed, or tomato. What am I talking about? Our strawberry bed. We've actually gotten a couple of strawberries out of there. They were quite tasty. One of the things that is a disadvantage of this setup is that for me to get anything out, I've got to reach way over and in to get things and pull weeds out. So this is how I have to pull weeds out. And it's not that big of a deal. It's just hard to get them when they're in the very center. So that was one disadvantage of this type of grow box, just the size and whatever. But other than that, there's a couple things I'd change. Maybe we'll do a video on what I would change, what and when and if we do things to change. Now, we've got strawberry shoots running off. So now I'm going to find a pot of dirt and put this one in it because it broke. Or maybe I'll just stick it right here because it's in line with that variety of strawberry. That's probably what I'll do, is I'll just poke my finger in here, poke that little edge of it down in there, pinch it in there, and hopefully it'll just start growing right there, because we've had some of them do that. But let's see. So once again, more plants that need to be planted. Sorry, hose is laying around because we were watering things earlier today, and then we're getting a little bit of shower. So does anybody remember what these plants were? Yeah, there's a marigold there. There's another one over here. But there's 6 of them, or 5 of them, or 6 of them were planted. There's 3 on this side and 3 on the other side of this trellis. And it is that passion fruit. I was concerned that maybe the chickens would attack it, but obviously they haven't done so yet, so I'm hoping we're okay. They've been out here for 5 or 6 days like this, so they're doing great. The idea is then they will climb up this arch. And yes, this is an arch. It goes up and around. It's about 5 feet wide. Let me stand back. And wait, you can see another one behind it. And yes, my boys were helping and needed a stain to stand on, so they pulled the piece of old swimming pool that needs to be torn apart and thrown away out and put it right there in the middle of the picture, but that's okay. So we're working on building a couple more grow boxes for those 2 down there. Get some sand, we're going to mix it with some organic material and get those boxes filled up as well and get some stuff planted in them. We've got our salad bed. It's got some, let's see, what are the problems that have happened with this one? Well, first we put this bigger 4x4 mesh around here because chickens were getting into some of these things and digging it out. Dogs were running through it. But then I put this up, and then the chickens couldn't get in anymore, but they were tearing everything up around the edges. Things have started to grow back a little bit, but you can see they could reach their necks in and tear leaves off of these plants. So they've been doing it. Everything that was close to the edge, they were tearing it apart all the way around. So now I put chicken wire on the bottom foot of it, so they can't get in there and do that anymore. So we may, I probably will, I'll probably get in here and reseed just a little bit just to get some more lettuce growing in here, because you know we've only got so much of lettuce season here before everything gets all hot and crazy and can't have it. So spin around, sorry, motion sickness. We have a this is a watermelon plant that we did. We've got it now in a bigger pot. This is a, I can't remember, I'm not thinking straight. Where's my tag? Here it is. It is a variety of honeysuckle, Cape honeysuckle. This one for right now is just sitting in a bucket. We potted it into a bigger bucket so it would grow. We brought our poinsettia out, and then it got all windy and nasty and ripped all the leaves off of it. But it looks like it's shooting out some growth. It'll be okay. If not, we tried something and yes, it rained, so children decided they needed to go for a ride on their bikes, and they're filthy dirty. And he thinks it's funny, so he's walking over here to show me how bad he is. So I suggest you remedy that situation before Mom gets home. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. So I thought we lost our peaches, but this one has finally bloomed out. We had 2 others that, you know, lots of branches died off of it, so we had to cut them back, but they're doing good. That bucket is compost tea. We won't say what the ingredients are in it, but it has something to do with a collection that the cows left us when we were pulling weeds and whatever. So here is the asparagus bed. You can see we've got some massive asparagus growing that's probably 2.5 feet out of the ground, out of the raised bed. We've got a bunch of them growing. They're trying to grow up. We put this grid over top of it so that they can keep from blowing over in the rain or the wind and rain. We have some spinach still growing in here. A lot of it's trying to bolt, so we're pretty much done with this spinach. But we also have some, here are the beets that we showed you forever ago. Some of them are growing huge.
Whoa! That would be a huge sandwich or a salad. Huge. Oh, this one's growing huge too.
Beets can be a little bit strong, but see, as you can see, the chickens have been in here eating along this edge and ripping bites and pieces off of that. So I may or may not do more on that one. Here's one of the peaches that we had to cut a bunch off, but it seems to be growing pretty good. And we've tried to straighten it up. Got another one on the other side that somebody's going over to try to show you, but we're not going to lift it up and straighten it up yet. But since he's over there, we'll go over there and look at it.
I was breaking off some teeny tiny pieces of green on the bottom.
I will do that. You let me do that, okay? So this one had a bunch of dead on it, so we cut the dead off, and we'll pull it and straighten it up, but I figured I'd leave it alone.
Went through the grate last.
But these are what? 2 watermelons and a what?
Or a cantaloupe.
And a cantaloupe or a honeydew melon. We don't remember. We planted them. I thought I took a video, and because we knew what we did 5 minutes after we did it, but we don't remember anymore after that. So we've got more of our stuff.
On my shirt
because you guys were driving on the muddy driveway, and you drove through puddles instead of moving around it. I know exactly why.
No, there was puddles in both lanes.
Do you know what we need to do? Is make sure you get cleaned up before Mom gets home. So go get in the shower. Okay? So we got another bed that we had planted some spinach in the middle of it that's supposed to climbing. It's a Malabar spinach. It didn't. For some reason, I must not have done it right. Or I don't know how to make that grow well. But we tried. So this one we're going to replant. We're going to get some more carrots and beets, and we'll get that in here. Just some more quick growing greens and things that we can eat and harvest. Here's our another pink guava that we have. So we got 2 of those. And then this is going to be a trellis area that we've got for blackberries and raspberries and things like that. A lot of the things that we bought at the big box store, like this one actually grew, and so it's got new stalk that's growing, new cane that's growing up there. This one didn't. That one did. And these are growing, so they're okay. This is the one I bought at a different box store, but it had, plenty of different roots. So I got another one. So we've got a few of them that we'll get in here. We'll get some of the similars or like varieties together, and we'll space it out. We're going to continue this line out that way. But what else? Oh, here's our bean plant. Yeah, I know I did it crazy, but I put bush beans and pole beans kind of together. So the pole beans have climbed up the first section of fence, and then I put an 8-foot pole in the middle, and I put strings on it. So pretty